Well, good morning, everybody. It's October 14th. It really is. And this is live. This is the morning laugh. And you know what? You know what we're going to talk about today? Because I didn't do it the way we normally do. But anyways, so let's see what's going on. Tom Cruise has a new face, and William Shatner was blasted to space. All that. Hey, look, it's me still. Hey, okay, so today I'm why dilly dally? I'm just gonna bring out the rest of the guys. Josh
Oh
Novey,
hi! Oh hi there! Oh hi! Happen to see you there.
just
Oh
happened to be in
dear.
the neighborhood and just
Oh
stopped
look at
by
ya.
on the show that you're on.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. What are you doing, Brian? What are you doing here?
It's an early morning, isn't it, Josh?
It is so early, but that's all right because we're early risers. I have pillow face. I don't know if you ever have that thing where you sleep on a pillow and it makes your feel. So I just woke up. And this is how I look in the morning. So I
You have
apologize.
morning eyes right now.
Yeah, this right here, the Robert De Niro eyes.
Hmm.
What do you?
You waking me up?
Yeah, what do you?
You waking me up?
You waking me up? Huh? You
Don't see
waking
anybody
me up?
else you try to wake up. Must be me, right? Are you traditionally a morning person though?
No, I'm not. I'm the opposite. I'm a night owl, traditionally.
Yeah, me too.
But here's the thing: is that my wife, my now wife, by the way, bam,
Bam.
bam,
I saw it
she
happen.
she is a morning person, and so that means that I am now a morning person.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, kids will do that to you too. I am a night person who is both now a night and day person, and that would explain why my face is always saggy. But that's the world we live in, Josh.
That's the world.
You split the fine line between the late night hours of being a comedian and then the responsibility of being a married father. Yeah,
I know. I'm learning. We're about to learn because now we're starting to get busy, in the comedy world again. So now it's about to pop off.
Yeah. So sleep when you can. That's my motto.
Mm-hmm. Sleep when sleep when the baby sleeps?
Pretty much, or when the babies are at school. That's a good one. So, Josh, yes, we haven't talked about it, but you did 2 weeks ago. You got married. Congratulations!
I did. Thank you. It was the most. So we have a running joke in my family that nothing will go right if you're a Novi. Like nothing ever like you could be about to win the Powerball, but then you put your name in the computer and the whole system crashes. And that was, and you were there. You saw my wedding. Oh, look at that special delivery.
Oh,
coffee.
Look at that.
From my beautiful wife, who doesn't want to be on camera.
It's perfect temperature.
Perfect temperature.
Oh.
She's amazing.
So
you were there,
and she knows it's the perfect temperature because she put her finger in it.
It was a whole hand. She dunked her whole hand in it.
Oh, that's about right.
I didn't want you to burn your mouth on camera.
Oh, thanks, babe. You're so sweet. So you were there, Brian, and you saw that nothing went as planned, but we still managed to get the words out, and here we are.
It was great. It was a lot like the morning laugh. You don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know who's going to show up. And then no, it was great. It was a memorable ceremony.
Thank you. That's a
cool.
great way. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Well, no, it was good. It was a good memory, I think, for the whole family and friends. So that was great. So congratulations again. And how things going so far?
Oh, we're divorced.
Man.
We're doing great. We're loving it. I love every second I am with this woman. So it's okay. It's amazing. We went on our we next year sometime hopefully when I can afford to, with comedy money, I'll be able to take her on a real honeymoon. But we went on a mini moon this the weekend of after the wedding. We stayed in a little hobbit hole, and And I'm gonna see if I can't pull up some of those pictures. I should have just had this going on already.
So an actual hobbit hole?
An
I did see,
actual hobbit hole.
I did
and it
see a
was
picture online,
yes,
and
yes.
I
That
didn't
was
know what
the
was going
actual.
on.
That was the actual front door of of the place that we were staying with.
Okay. Wow.
Let's see
Everything
here.
else inside, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everything inside was like
Smaller?
normal sized.
Just getting into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was amazing. But we had such a fun time. And here's the thing: is that we were up near Sholo, and none of our stuff worked. So it was pretty much, we're pretty much
Cut
just
off from
stuck.
society, and
Yeah.
so now you're newlyweds forging a new frontier in a hobbit house.
In a hobbit house.
They say that's a true test to a marriage if you can make it a weekend in a hobbit house.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna share with you this right here. There you go. That
Okay.
was the front door.
Well, what am I looking at?
This was the door. That door that's open.
Oh,
That was the door.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. I'm gonna tell you right now that it was pretty amazing. We loved it. We're actually gonna go back. We're already planning on going back there because we had so
good.
much fun. But
You've got the opposite of what's going on for me. You have the you're coming out of a pandemic, getting married, going on a honeymoon, where I was in a pandemic on my 30th wedding anniversary.
ooh,
So, which actually I've used that in my set now, basically saying my wife did want it. This is a true story. My wife did want to go somewhere super nice, travel somewhere for our 30th wedding anniversary. But I told her I'm a comedian that hasn't worked in over a year. So how about Mesa? It's funny joke on stage. Not so funny in the house.
it's it's funny that sometimes like the things that are funny on stage, your wife doesn't think are funny.
No, not at all. You get one good eye roll, and then that's pretty much it. Michelle Van Dusen wants to say congratulations, Josh.
Thank you, Michelle. You're so sweet.
I'm assuming it's congratulations for you getting married, or for the fact that we're both awake and doing the show right now.
Or both, or that I survived the hobbit hole.
Correct. And Nicole Miller, who is now apparently going only by Okayest Mom.
It's a great name.
As long as she's happy, you're happy. I think that's good advice.
That's we
From
have
the Okayest Mom.
That's they always say happy wife, happy life, but who knows?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you have any marriage advice for me, I'd love to take it. I love it. Love all your marriage advice. I've been married for a week and a half now, so I feel like I can write a book on marriage, and I think I'm good. I don't think I need advice, but if you have any, I'll take it. Whatever.
Well, if it's not broke at this point, don't mess with it. Yeah. My biggest advice is don't go to bed angry. So, but sometimes days are longer than normal days. And define go to bed. Hey, if that's a couch, it's a couch. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
No, all good here on the Kahatsu front, in case you're wondering. We've again 30 years, so I'm ahead of you 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Just barely. Just barely though.
Oh, here we go. Okay, Nicole has am I supposed to go by Nicole or Okayest Mom? I think it's at Okayest Mom on Instagram and other places. I'm promoting you right now, Nicole. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. That is very true. That's true. The other saying in our house is, okay, you're always right. I'm always wrong. That's another one I use. That works.
I find that I can't remember who said this, but they said that the trouble with a lot of relationships is that one person is always right and the other person is never wrong.
Mm-hmm. My wife and I had another conversation the other day, which was I do the dishes a lot. Not saying she doesn't or anybody else in this house doesn't. Kids don't. Anyway, but she still likes to say that I've never done the dishes. Michelle Van Dusen, Josh, make sure you always have the last word. So you can say you're sorry.
I like how all
Like
of
the women are
advice,
chiming in.
all of the advice just assumes that I've done something really
Wrong.
dumb to make my wife mad. That's my favorite part about this whole thing is that everyone's like, Josh, you are a moron. And we know that you're going to screw this up a lot. And so just go ahead and get ready.
Yeah.
Get yourself a credit card from the flower store.
They're right. They're not necessarily wrong, not towards you, Josh, but toward men in general. So I think the deal is you should like the gift you should receive at the wedding should be like an emergency kit, which is a box full of, some flowers, some perfume, some gift cards, maybe whatever it takes. And then you have that at your disposal, like, I need a card. I need an I love you card for no reason because I feel something's coming up.
Yeah.
So, all right, finally. Yes, Dave, thank you for chiming in and supporting us at this moment. It's been rough. So
it's okay though. We can, because it's part of who we are. We the one thing I have going for me is that every day I make her snort laugh, which is, that's how I know I really got her is she snorts because she doesn't like to snort. So
yeah. The snort isn't the most attractive noise to come out of a woman.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it is to me because
it's on the snort, I guess.
That means I'm making her laugh so hard that she can't control whatever's out. So I just love it.
True. All right. Well, Josh, look at us. We're already 12 minutes in. We haven't talked about any news. You want to talk about some news?
Let's talk about the news. Let's see what's happening.
The trends. Look at that metaphoric paper I thrown down.
Wow, that was a really good. Man, you should be like an improviser or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I just improvised the graphics very quickly. All right. Oops. Here we go. Hey, hold on before we move forward, Dave. That stops once the honeymoon is over. My wife stopped laughing at me a long time ago. Dave, welcome to the club because I live with an eye roller. I'm surprised my wife doesn't have to go to the ophthalmologist several times a year to work on eye strain. So, what are you gonna do, Josh? I don't know. Have you been? You're a newlywed, so I don't know if you've had any time to actually watch. Do you watch any news?
I have. I haven't had much time to watch the news this past week, but I have been keeping up with a couple things. So let's do it. Let's rock it.
All right. So I'm gonna slow play it, and I'm gonna bury the lead. So we're gonna, and you'll know by the first story that we have here. So apparently, Howie Mandel, Howie Mandel fainted in a Starbucks the other day. See, I don't know if you see my graphic here. It says we have a man down.
Yeah, man down.
Yeah, really pushing the pun on this one.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's in a Starbucks in LA, and then he gets lightheaded and then faints. Paramedics are called. As far as we can tell, everything is fine. He was dehydrated and with low blood sugar.
Yeah, I saw this story, and I thought that the worst part about this for Howie is that he touched the floor of a Starbucks.
True.
I think if obviously I don't know him personally, but knowing enough about him, I feel like he would rather die than
touch the floor of a
Starbucks.
Exactly.
Especially in Hollywood. A Hollywood Starbucks might be the grossest. It's equivalent to a Waffle House floor.
Yeah. It's where dreams die.
Yeah.
It's the floor of a Starbucks. The screenwriter in the corner who drops his laptop. The the Hollywood agent that drops his phone. They've all been on that floor, Josh.
We've all been on. Listen, we've all been on that floor crying. I mean, whatever. It's
Now, I was almost going to say, he faints in a Starbucks. I thought falling star, but I thought no, don't go there. Because what if I want to be on AGT one day and this resurfaces? I don't want that to happen. But I don't have a tragic story for AGT. I mean,
well, we can always lie.
It's America's Got Talent and the super sad story.
Yeah, America's got a backstory.
Yeah, America's got issues. That's what
America, you messed up, America.
Come on, America. What's wrong with you? That's what the name of the show is.
Yeah.
So Howie is home. He's well. He's on his way to recovery, but you never know what's going to happen in Starbucks. I think it's
yeah. Well, I will tell you, speaking of falling stars, a woman in Ontario, she woke up to a meteorite on her pillow. There's a falling star meteorite was going through the atmosphere, and it crashed through her roof and landed on the pillow next to her. So, could be worse.
So I'm glad you said it crashed through the roof, because I thought, you know what? I sleep with my windows open, so I don't need.
Like it came in and it was just like
it turned. It could have bounced. Could have got a one hopper bonking in the bed. Because that, I don't know, that would I think that would hurt.
I think it would.
Meteorite.
This poor woman, she said that she woke up to a huge explosion and debris was all over her face. She didn't know what to do, so she called 911. In between the two pillows was a meteorite. It was a melon-sized rock.
Wow. That
landed just inches from her head. And that's, it's just, that's what happens when you
good news. There's good news to that story, though, because they do pay you. I don't know who it is, if it's NASA or whoever it was, pays you quite a bit of money for meteorite.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. I learned that if you can, like, a real authenticated meteorite, that you can get lots of money from it. So luckily for her, she's not dead, and she gets to sell that. It makes me almost think that that God was smiting her, and then at the last second chose not to. Just was like, this is a warning.
Just make it just go just to the side, just enough.
Yeah.
I always laugh when people say, like, because you hear it all the time, is somebody gets in an accident and they all say the same thing. The doctor said if it was an inch over, I'd be dead. Right? Meanwhile, in heaven, there's a bunch of people going, God told me if it was an inch over, I'd still be on earth.
I was like that. I was like the saying, like, when something will happen to somebody, it's not as bad as it could have been. Someone's like, someone was really looking out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, if they were, it wouldn't happen in the first place, honestly.
Right. What if, just hypothetically, what if you were sleeping in bed and Howie Mandel crashed through your roof and ended up just like an inch from your head? And first of all, I don't know if people give you money for Howie Mandel. Just right off, just like crashing through your. Would you sue him to get your roof fixed? Like, why in the world was he even there? What was he doing that caused it? I'm just saying, because we're talking about falling meteorites and falling stars. What do you do? But his career's going fine. He's not falling anytime soon.
Let's put that question out to our listeners and our watchers today. If you're laying in bed and Howie Mandel crashes through your roof and onto your pillow, what do you do?
First of all, this is just myself. I think you fist bump him. Hey, man. Because he's not going to shake hands with you, first of all.
Yeah.
You fist bump him and you ask him, you okay?
I think I would have to reach over because next to my bed, I have a big red X that I press.
Dave says, do Bobby. So So he would go into, of course, the famous Bobby character that
Mhm.
Howie has. So the line would be
He's
something
silly.
like, "Where am I?" or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's like something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Right. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
It's Bobby's World.
Bobby's
What
World.
would you do if Bobby's World crashed into your house? Oh boy.
That was I'm a little bit older than you guys, so that
Yeah.
was annoying to me. So I would probably get an eraser.
I will tell you that I am the exact age for that from that show. So I love Bobby's World, and actually my favorite cartoon was Life with Louie. And
I was gonna say Life with Louie.
Love that
There's
show.
nothing funnier than a child going, "Dad, I don't want to go camping."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a couple of those weird crossovers like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, when the adult threshold goes into the children's world.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien did a great thing where they did Conan Kids, which is just animated versions of them as children.
Oh, I never saw that.
No, they just did it as one episode. It was
Oh.
funny because, of course, you know how like all the Saturday morning cartoons had bands. But
Uh-huh.
at the very end, they play a song about friendship. It was really ridiculous.
It's awesome.
Michelle
makes me
says
happy.
that would never happen. Now it could be possible to have William Shatner to fall through the roof, which I agree.
That's true. Well, he lands in your pillow. What are you doing?
Fist bump me.
Fist bump.
I don't know. So, well, we brought it up, so let's talk about it. So, yesterday, monumental day for space and the human condition. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yesterday marked Shatner in space, as I like to call it. William Shatner, 90-year-old actor, singer, artist. William Shatner was propelled into space yesterday, making him the oldest person ever to reach space. Did you watch live, Josh? I must know.
I did not watch live because I was like, this is not going to end well. They're throwing a 90-year-old man into space, and they're what do they think is going to happen?
I think they bungee corded him or slingshot him. That's basically how it felt like. It was like rear up and then rear down. You know, I watched. I actually went to the Blue Origins page and watched it live because you know you don't get the news was in and out. You know, like this just in. You know, this is what's going on. But this way, actually, with everything, you could kind of see what was going on. I was, to be honest, I'm very, very happy for Shatner being able to live out this impossible dream. I'm sure when he signed on for Star Trek, this was not even on the radar.
Never. Nobody. Yeah. No. Nobody thought in a million years that he would live to be 90. And then, you know, of course, we all knew that space travel was going to happen, but you know, not with.
Yeah. But not with William Shatner.
Not with William Shatner. Did you ever watch this? There was a show a few years ago. It was him. It was William Shatner, George, what's his name? The boxer guy who did the grill.
George Foreman. Yes.
George Foreman, Terry Bradshaw,
Henry Winkler.
and Henry Winkler. And I loved that show. I absolutely adored that show.
Yes. That was excellent because boy, what a good look into, like, I know a lot of reality shows are amazingly scripted, but they were pretty much able to be themselves.
Yeah.
Winkler's the one who just surprised me the most on that show, but Shatner was just Shatner as usual.
Shatner was on. And then you know what I watched that show and I realized that if I could take a trip with anyone, George Foreman.
Yeah.
I was watching him and I was like, oh, we have a lot of the same interests. You want to go? Hey, you want to go to church and then we'll go to look at a museum? Yeah. George Foreman, I do.
I think Terry Bradshaw is the one who would get you in trouble on a trip.
Yeah,
because I think he'd be one of those just like, hey man, let's go check this out over here, and like not read the brochure, like, oh, nobody goes there, you're not supposed to go there, and then things would go bad from that point on.
I'm not going to name drop, but I'm friends with the host of that show, and he's still friends with Terry Bradshaw, and he says that Terry Bradshaw's hugs are the most sincere thing in the world.
That's I forgot the guy's name.
Jeff Dye.
Jeff Dye.
I wasn't going to name drop, but there you go. Just go ahead and throw it out.
I opened for him once.
Yeah, very nice guy. Very sweet.
He was a nice guy. Very nice guy. Very funny. Very funny comic too.
Very funny. He got on Last Comic Standing when he was 2 years in. 2 years into comedy, and he became a headliner.
Yeah. Michelle,
Better
thank
late
you.
than never.
Better late
That's
than never.
funny.
Right. Couldn't remember it. So, no. Going back to Shatner though, yesterday, I will say that I was concerned, yes, for shooting a 90-year-old man into space, as I believe most.
No, can you say that as? Can you say that as William Shatner? I was concerned about shooting a 90-year-old man.
I was very concerned
into space
to shoot a 90-year-old man into space, but I did it. I made it. I'm happy, right, George? Oh my! You got to think too, like, not just. I mean, the fact that Shatner went up into space. George Takei is still alive. Walter Koenig is still alive, I believe, and Nichelle Nichols is still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive.
I believe everybody else
dead. Scotty's dead.
McCoy and Spock.
Leonard Nimoy's dead.
DeForest Kelly.
And then Tribbles are all
there are a few Tribbles still around though, I heard.
Oh, okay.
I live next to Sun City, so there's a lot of retirees out here. I've seen a few of them crossing the street. Anyway, but here's the deal. Those guys have to be thinking, really? Like, Shatner got to go into space? I mean, they must think that's pretty, they have to think it's amazing. Even if I know Shatner and George Takei do not get along well. But I think even there's got to be a moment of, I haven't seen any online buzz that any of those guys have said, but it's got to be quite the feat.
I don't know. I feel like George Takei is just so classy that he'd be like, "Good, well done."
I wish to give my congratulations to the captain. Oh my!
Oh my!
And then Walter Koenig's like, "He went up in the vessel."
Hey, has anyone seen Captain Kirk? Has anyone? Okay, no, but this is the new character from Star Trek.
What character is that?
Confused guy. Confused custodian. Hey, has anyone seen Captain Kirk? There's a spill in the hallway, and I need to know if you do you want. Is that a space creature? I don't know what to do.
Hey guys, my name's Terry Morris. I played janitor on episode 4, and still alive and kicking. Just so you guys know, morning laugh. Anyways, I have not been to space, but I do own a space heater in my apartment, and it's broken. But I have too been to space. So questions. Anyone? Terry Morris, everybody.
Terry Morris, good job, Terry. Well done, Terry.
Instant janitor.
That guy's headlining the Comic-Con of Sioux City.
Form a line. Anyone? You have a question? Yes. What's that? Yes, I will get in there and clean that up immediately, right after this. Anyone else? Other questions? Go ahead.
Hi. First time asker. Do you prefer Fabuloso or LA Classy?
I would not answer this question because I am trying to stay away from controversy. So that's, if you know one thing about Terry Morris, no controversy. Next question.
Terry Morris, Star Trek custodian.
Star Trek custodian. I did. Let's see. I did the original series. I did Deep Space Nine. I was supposed to be on Voyager, but there was some negotiation that went on. Like, I wanted to be on, they didn't want me on, and then of course, I'm on all the reboots. I subscribe to all of them on Paramount Plus. Anyways, so we're gonna wrap it up when you retire. So, anyways, it's good. Harry Morris, everybody. So
My
anyway,
God.
so congratulations, William Shatner. Kind of think this is going to be a new thing. We'll see how many celebs we get into space.
That's a great. How many shooting celebs into space?
Celebs in space. Yeah, I would watch that.
In my idea though, it's like an old circus where they just put them in a big cannon, and then they. Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure William Shatner was shot from a cannon on Circus Celebrity, the Circus of the Stars.
Wow, really? Okay, we get it.
That probably primed him for it. That was back in his TJ Hooker days. He was like, I'm strapped in. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Fire.
Let's see here.
I want to say I have that image in my head, which everyone should have that image in their head right now. Shatner loading himself into a cannon, blasting himself into a net. So I thought yesterday, I told my wife yesterday I was excited about Shatner going into space, but I was a little shocked that it's the first time he's been to space where he didn't have sex or punch somebody in the face. So,
oh yeah,
very difficult trip for him, I'm sure.
Okay, my research says that it might be Shatner. Also, might have been Adam West.
We'll never know.
We don't know, honestly. There's a.
I mean, Adam West quote passed away, but he was living in Arizona at the end.
Oh, did he?
He lived in Litchfield Park.
I did not know that.
At least he had a place in Litchfield Park too. So
wow.
I
think you'd have been doing better, honestly.
Do you remember Circus of the Stars? On CBS?
Do not.
Weird show.
That's good. That's welcome to Brian's daily TV review of shows Josh has never seen. Hey Josh, you ever seen that one episode of MASH where Adam West, he shows up as Batman, but then he also steals a helicopter? No, I've never seen that. Yeah.
Do you remember the Mork and Mindy crossover with Happy Days? Do you remember any of this stuff? I mean,
no.
Do you remember when Tom Hanks was on Happy Days? Do you remember the show Condor, or do you remember the movie Condor Man?
I do, actually.
Film? You do? Okay,
yeah.
Good. That one. Okay, that's good with remembering. See, there's stuff.
We don't have Chris here. We don't have Chris here to make fun of for not knowing any of this stuff.
Chris's head would be spinning at the moment.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what was going on. And Mike would back me up on all of this. Mike would go, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
And then Chris would be like, "That's not a thing. That's never happened."
Actually, a show did pop in my head that was very. Oh man, I totally forgot the name of it. I'll think of it later. It's not worth mentioning at the moment. Anywho, so. Do you remember the wonderfulness though of TJ Hooker? Were you old enough to remember Shatner's TJ Hooker?
So they played reruns when it was in syndication when I was a kid. So I sometimes got to watch it if my parents forgot to turn off the TV. Okay. I will say so. I was this is a thing that some people know. I was a latchkey kid. Okay, here's a question for you, Brian. When your kids were young, very young, how long would you leave them alone at the house?
Very young?
Yeah.
Like old enough to leave and come back for some reason, right? Is what you're saying? That I would trust them alone?
Wait, at what age was the first time that you left your child home alone by themselves for any amount of time?
Wow, maybe. Trying to think. I'm trying because I have two kids. I'm trying to think based on the age of the oldest. Because you do get cocky and you go, "Hey, you're smart enough to watch your sister for 10 minutes. I'm going to leave." But for any good length of time, not 15 minutes, I would say older, 8 or 9, I guess.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
That's my son at 8 or 9 in charge of watching his sister for maybe an hour.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even like
that seems reasonable. That's so like, I mean, when I was getting left home by myself for hours when I was like 5, 5, 6. So,
wow.
they would just turn on the TV and I would watch the monkeys and all those old show. Of course, we had a black and white TV, so I didn't even know that the monkeys were in color until I was older.
So you weren't even old enough to reach the latch.
Yeah, I was just a kid. I was just a kid.
You were a locked-in kid.
Yeah, I was a key kid.
Just throw food on the floor. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't eat all of it. That's for everyone.
So that's the thing, like our kids, they don't we don't leave them at home alone.
Yeah. It's different. It's a different time.
Yeah, it is because you're like, well, but what's changed other than, immediate access to a bunch of murderers
when you're gone, right? Yeah. Worst damage is being done with just your kid on a computer.
Yeah.
Can't hover over them the whole time. Don't get me started on parenting.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's parenting tips. If anyone has parenting tips, I would love them because I don't know what I'm doing.
So, nice segue into this next thing here. So, speaking of parenting, not yesterday, but a couple days ago, Tom Cruise was seen at the Dodger game with his son.
Yeah.
Hanging out. And everyone is commenting on Tom Cruise's face, that it's very puffy and it doesn't look like, some people thought it was an impersonator or whatever, but it's take a deep look. It's him.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, here's two theories I heard. Number one was that he's obviously had something done to his face to alter his face, and possibly he's a little puffy or swollen from some kind of medication or procedure.
Yeah.
The other one that I read, which is I think more interesting, is that that Norm Macdonald is now encompassing the body of Tom Cruise. Because if you look at the picture, it looks a little bit like
it
Norm.
Does.
It does a little bit look like Norm Macdonald. So again, just another theory thrown out there by the public.
Trying to see if I can't pull up this. Yeah. I'm gonna try to pull up this picture that looks.
It looks remarkably like Norm.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and all
right. So if you're listening on the podcast, switch over to the video podcast so you can see.
Okay, so here you go. This is the one that looks a lot like Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. Also, I mean, can we just go ahead and give the guy a break? He's like 70 years old,
So he's almost 60 years old.
Oh, he's 60 years old, whatever.
Yeah. But you're running around in Europe pretty much 24 hours a day, it seems, making your films. You know what? Worst case scenario, the guy just had a few extra sandwiches. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You
he's 60. He's 60 years old. He velcros himself to the outside of a plane and has it take off. Give the guy a break.
Right. Who's doing that in their 50s? Nobody.
Nobody's
Here's an interesting thing. Years ago, do you recall, Josh, do you recall an actor named Alec Baldwin? Do you remember that guy?
I do remember Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin was in an interview and they were asking him why he stopped doing the Jack Ryan character after Hunt for Red October. And he claims that, it's just too difficult to maintain your body. Look at Tom Cruise. Look what that guy goes through to maintain his body. Shatner did at the end there. Anyway, yeah. But it's true. Tom Cruise, 24 hours a day, is thinking about the next project, what I've got to eat, what I got to drink, when I need to work out, maintain that, and that is a long time to maintain staying in shape for that long. And Baldwin said, "I like to eat. I can't do it," and he proved that. He did prove that. Alec Baldwin actually now is in a lot better shape than he's been in several years. Once he got married, he started getting back in shape again.
That's the secret, guys. That's the secret. Get married, and then you have someone to love and care for.
Get married to a woman who claims to be from Spain, who's not
actually from Spain. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. Here come my father, prepared to die. Oh, is that lady from Spain? Oh, dear.
Spain.
From Spain.
And that's a whole other story. I don't even
want a whole nother thing. No, I know Dave Bautista said that he is no longer going to be doing shirtless shirtless scenes because of he said I think he's 53, 54. He
Yeah,
said
he's
how
giving up
hard
there.
it is to maintain that.
I will say this: I gave up going shirtless several years ago, so I know where he's coming from. I know what he's going through.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I was actually born with a shirt. That's how fat I am. I came out. So a lot of people like to wear shirts when they swim. I came out with a
that's
shirt
the name
on.
of your autobiography is called Shirts Only. So Michelle Van Dusen, she found it. Shatner wasn't shot out of the cannon. It was Brooke Shields.
Ooh,
So it
swords.
makes sense.
It is
Shatner
swords
did
and horses.
swords and horses.
Swords and horses.
So, which is, Shatner's a huge horse enthusiast. He's got several, and that makes complete sense.
All right.
But that explains a lot about
impression
Brooke Shields
time
right now.
All right, I'm gonna impression time, Brian. Sean Connery is a custodian at a zoo. Go.
Well, I was sweeping up the poop. I decided to go look in on the monkeys. They were missing. So I sent up a satellite to find them. I don't know. It's very early in the morning. Again, we talked about having morning face this morning. So
yeah, it's morning face. Sorry, guys. We're doing it. We're doing this. We have things are happening in our lives. I hate to tell you guys this, but we're doing the best we can. Okay.
Somebody stole the sea monkeys.
There
you go.
A seal. I was sweeping after the seals.
Yes, I'd like a Shasta. Okay.
Yeah. So I got tired, so I took a shit. No. What? Yeah, I'm super excited. Let's see what else.
Speaking of which, you brought up Connery. The new Bond film.
Oh,
No Time to Die.
Mwah.
It's brilliant. If you haven't seen it yet, don't want to no spoilers, but it's been a while since I've seen a film where I'm like, that was really good. I enjoyed that thoroughly from start to finish, and I want to see it again in the theaters one more time.
Yeah, I watched it and I was a little bit apprehensive going in because it's a 3-hour movie, and I have the attention span of a 5-year-old who was left at home, and so I went there. I went with a friend and we watched it, and from start to finish, I was just thoroughly enwrapped in the storyline. And then when it finished, and I was just like, just amazed. I think it might be the best movie of 2021.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here's the thing. Connery did his Bond films, and then just, after the last one he just didn't come back. Then Lazenby came in for one, and then you get Moore, who did several. And then again, when he did the last one, we didn't know that was his last one. He went on to the next one. Then we get Timothy Dalton for a couple of years, Pierce Brosnan, and then we ended with. And again, nobody had a final Bond film to do. They just after the fact went, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing it anymore. Whereas this, at least he got to, do one last film and kind of, he got a proper send off, like an NBA retirement tour, which is nice. Because he did something different with the character than we'd seen in the past, and thoroughly impressed. That whole series is really good. So
I'm very excited. I don't know what I don't know if they're gonna have what the new James Bond is, but I really like the idea because there's a big to do with the who's going to be a new 007, and then a lot of people are like should be a woman of minority, and all these people are like no, and then of course this is not going to ruin it, but in the movie the new 007 is it's not African American because she's British,
yeah,
African
British American,
African British American. But she
to Two Dummies. She was really tan. That's all we know.
She didn't have to put on sunscreen, okay? But she did such a good job, that I was excited. And even if they bring her back as the James Bond character, I would be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah. It's kind of weird too. It was kind of, again, no spoilers here, but it's not like he passed the torch to a degree, but yes and no. She
Yeah.
wasn't as warm to me as Bond should be. But again, we don't get to know her that well because there are circumstances that, they're kind of opposing and then together, and there's kind of, there's friction.
It's all right. You guys go watch it. Listen, go watch it. We're gonna come back on our movie review podcast called The Morning Bond. I don't know. It's early.
Here's the funny thing nowadays. You can't say this all started when DVR became a thing and all that. That is like, oh, did you watch 24 last night? I didn't see it yet. I DVR'd it. Okay, so let's talk about coffee.
Yeah.
Now it's like the same thing. People are like, oh, I'm at my own pace. I'm gonna go see that, or I don't know if I'm gonna wait till I can stream it or whatever the deal is. But you can't talk about anything. So all these great spoilers. I guess what's today? The 14th of October. See us next year.
Honest,
and we'll talk about all the spoilers.
I think spoil with movies. Everyone has the ability to watch pretty much any movie they want to at any time now. So how I feel about like when we talk about movies and stuff is that you have a couple months, maybe, and then TV shows you have an extra week.
Yeah,
and then that's it. You don't get to be like, you can't be like, what you telling me that the planet of the apes was Earth the whole time, and then
whole time?
You can't be mad at me.
Wait a minute.
What?
That movie just came out in 1968. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, no spoilers. I get it. Like some of the things, like sometimes like you go online and it'll be like the episode literally just dropped, and then you go online and then people are like already spoiling things about it, and you're like, yeah. Okay, but that's my fault. I'm going to distance myself from that. That's not their fault.
Mm-hmm. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but you really can at times, and it's kind of a bummer, to be honest. Because if you're not watching it, like for instance, right now we are watching Squid Game. Are you watching Squid Game on Netflix?
Love Squid Game.
I have two episodes left to go, but we have not, as a family, been able to sit and watch the last two episodes. And somebody mentioned to me the other day, I already know who wins. Walk away from me. I don't need to know anything more. I don't need to know anything. I didn't know anything going into it. Other than Mike James is the one who said watch it, and to be honest, to my surprise, I couldn't get past the first 10 minutes. And he said, no, give it another try, and so I did, and then again, we're all hooked on it now. So
yeah, man, all right, I'm not. Well, we'll talk when you're done with Squid Game. We'll talk about it on air. So anyone that has not watched it, you have a week. You have 1 week now to watch this.
Are all on the clock.
Yeah, this is your Squid Game, everyone.
Squid Game. Interesting. That show is very interesting in that I love the idea of it. I think the execution's pretty good on it. Did you watch the subtitled one or did you watch dubbed?
Oh, dubbed. I can do subtitled. I didn't know that there was a subtitle option.
See, I didn't either.
Yeah.
And I was told later. Yeah. I guess there's a few, somebody said there's a few details you miss.
Maybe
watching the dub, but to be honest, here's my problem. So, like, I mean, I grew up watching a lot of foreign, like, a lot of the Jackie Chan films I would get early, and they're all subtitled. That's craziness because you're trying to read and look at the screen with an action film. You're like, so you end up watching it 3 or 4 times before you actually really get all the plot points. Not that there's a whole lot of Jackie Chan movies.
Well, did you notice this about the Squid Game with the dubs? Is that they did it so well that you really forget about it.
Yeah, the pauses and the hesitations, they nail the words when it comes, like, and it's not that staccato, like, what are you doing? Huh. Well, I guess we could go do that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what are you doing? What? All right, I guess we'll do that. I mean, it's like, good acting.
It's good voice acting over good acting, and then
there are a couple ones that are not good though. The one guy, we have to get out of here. That guy, can him. I've seen him in too many movies.
Cannon, put him in a cannon, shoot him out of here like Shatner,
like Brooke Shields,
messed
up her eyebrows, formed 2 of them. Anyway, the We love the old man on Squid Game, though.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
daughter's so funny because every once in a while she'll just be going 1, 2, 3. She's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm doing my counting, to keep my brain fresh." Okay.
I appreciate that the old man on Squid Game is the Count from Sesame Street.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. And again, no spoilers.
3 bodies.
First, first episode when they're doing red light, green light,
Yeah.
and he's the only one to go. That was the funniest thing. Just the joy on his face of playing the game was just like, oh wow. And then just the constant smiling during it.
I just
with
love
the mayhem going on around him.
That's my favorite thing. I love okay, so here's a question. Okay. This is my 11-year-old says her friends watch Squid Game. Is it appropriate for young people? No.
Next question. No. That is a fair question. So what was the age? 11 again?
11.
I mean, it is violent.
It's extraordinarily violent.
Yeah.
However, we are Americans, and so we don't really associate violence with being something too mature for children to watch.
Yeah. Because I don't know, the regular exposure on a normal TV commercial to violence is pretty heavy nowadays.
Yeah.
I
was watching.
Have you watched the Tom and Jerry cartoons? Man.
Yeah, commercials now are violent though. I was watching
one for
some
blood splatter
Sock 'em
to
Boppers, man,
plum.
and this kid exploded.
I would say so. That's a great question, Nicole. Though I would say that there's a lot of violence. There is some nudity, very brief in episode. I think
Is
it's
there?
4.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Well, that's
In the-
inappropriate. Not
in the
all the
restroom.
violence. Listen. You can let your kid watch these. Hundreds of people get killed, right? But do not let them see a butt. Okay.
it's a little more than a butt.
I don't know. I think I missed whatever that is.
Yeah. We'll talk later. Anyway,
Okay.
so Nicole, I don't have an answer for you other to say that I know you seem to be a good parent from what I've seen online. I never see any gel photos of you or mugshots. So yeah, I would check those parental guides and kind of or watch episode 1 and kind of get an idea of what the violence level's like. And like I said, there's the nudity factor. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
My kids were in the room. I'm like, I don't know. It's gonna. None of us want to see this anyway. So
Yeah. So Nicole, listen. Do not let your kid see a butt. Okay, but go ahead and let them watch hundreds of people getting shot in the head. That's the American way. So. Yeah, I know. I was reading that too, and I was like, dude. Michelle Van Dusen says a non-murderous real-life version of Squid Game is being held in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, is organizing a reenactment of the games. 2 teams of 15 participants. So,
interesting.
I like how you assume that it's going to be non-murderous. Have you been to the United Arab?
Everything starts off non-murderous.
It's right. Even murder start off not murderous. They always end up in murder.
Mhm.
But anyways,
Cain and Abel, they were like, "Oh, this took a turn."
Yeah, Cain and Abel. It was just a story about a couple dudes out plowing a field. Honestly,
couple bros hanging out,
hanging out in the field, looking at
Things went
rocks.
bad. Yep, it's the first Squid Game.
It's the very first Squid Game. Hey, you want to play Squid Game? What's a Squid Game? Well, I hit you in the head with a rock, and which one of us survives wins.
I'll go first. Rock, paper, scissors, me. Let's go.
Rock. Hey, guys, we're gonna play rock, paper, scissors. Here's a paper. I got rock. And
You ready? Dunk. Ow! You win.
oh my god. Hey, you guys want to reenact the stoning of Stephen?
Let's play biblical reenactment. Okay, here we go. Anywhere.
Man.
Anywho. Well, Josh, we
Ryan,
thought Josh and I before the show, everybody just we realized, hey, it's only the two of us, and kind of a I don't know if you could tell there wasn't a whole lot of prep going into the show today. Anyway, we just thought, we'll wing it. We'll see how it goes. If we're lucky, if we get a half an hour, and here we are. We got 5 minutes left, and of course, this is the normal section of the show where we pitch whatever's going on in our careers. And Josh, do you have shows coming up?
I do. I'm gonna let you go for. Well, do you want to go for? I have a lot going on, so
I don't. So mine will take 2 seconds.
Okay, then I'll let you go last.
Okay.
We just announced. I always say we as in, but it's really me. I just announced the Newlywed and Broke tour. Go to joshnoby.ninja to get more information, or go onto my Facebook. I have events. We're doing small theaters across the United States, which is very exciting for me. So this weekend I will be in actually tomorrow night. Today I'm flying to Des Moines, Iowa. So tomorrow night I'll be in Polk City, Iowa. The next day I'll be in West Des Moines, Iowa. The day after that I will be in Ankeny, Iowa. The weekend after that I will be in Dallas and Frisco, and then Sierra Vista. In November I will be in Mankato, Kansas, Holdridge, Nebraska, Columbus, Nebraska, Salem, Illinois, and a bunch of other places. So we actually have a lot going on with this tour. I'm very excited to lose money. So come on, if you know anybody in any of these areas, just let them know. Don't buy a ticket, but just like drive by me and throw your trash so I have something to do while I'm in town. So yeah, that's my big news, that we just announced the Newlywed and Broke tour, and it seems to be doing okay.
As you rattled off the city names, I thought it was a song.
Yeah. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Holdridge, Nebraska, Salem, Illinois.
Let's see. So my news is not as great as yours. Let's see. So I'll be in Kentucky tomorrow for a private show, so none of you can come to that anyway. Then I'll be back, and then I have a lot going on. My album will launch pretty soon. Oh, I'm on Rick Roberts' podcast, I believe, tomorrow, pitching my album, and there's some sneak previews of the album on Rick Roberts tomorrow. At least that's what Rick told me it would release tomorrow.
Is it still the School of Laughs podcast?
It is Rick Roberts' School of Laughs podcast.
I will tell you, if you're listening to this and you're interested in comedy, the School of Laughs podcast is a phenomenal resource.
I think it's the only place to go.
It really is. It's if you're just starting out, or even if you've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for 11 years now, and I've listened to some episodes and gotten some great advice and learned some really cool things from that. So absolutely, School of Laughs podcast.
Rick Roberts does a great job of really kind of holding your hand through the process of comedy and how that kind of evolves for you as you get your career started. So it's really good. I found it a little bit later after I'd already been doing things, but it just confirmed things I was doing and showed me other things I should be doing right. So again, if you're a comedian, check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even if you're not a comedian, Rick is
Public
a good friend of ours. He's a good public. If you want to, just anything. He brings on a lot of very interesting people to talk about things. And so, even if you're not a comedian, go watch it or just go listen to it. It's a fantastic little podcast.
While we are talking about Rick at the moment, this is how this all came about. The reason I'm on the podcast is because I actually reached out to him the other day because he's got a new movie out, Mayberry Man.
Yeah.
Where Rick is also a Barney Fife impersonator. And in this film, he plays a guy who is a Barney Fife impersonator. And it's about a guy who goes to town, small town experience with Mayberry Fest, and his life changes. And very good little film. Watched it the other day, and then contacted Rick just to tell him how much I love the movie and thought he was great.
Where can you find it? I didn't know that it was out.
Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. Mayberry Man, and then Select City too. They were doing shows, screenings.
Fantastic.
So check that out. But I was talking to Rick and he asked me what I had going on. I just kind of mentioned it. He goes, "Hey, why don't you come on the show?" I had an opportunity to do my Rick Roberts and I didn't do it. "Hey man, why don't you come on the show and check it out?" So anyway, so we had a nice little talk the other day. So anyways, we'll promote the album a little bit more. So that's kind of what I go on. I got other shows, little shows coming on here and there. I'll be opening for Wayne Fetterman in December. I just found out the other day.
Wow.
That's Stir Crazy. So it'll be fun. But yeah, so very quick trip out back and catch me at briankahatsu.com. It's BRIAN because that's hard to spell, and the KOHATSU, which everybody knows traditional spelling. So you want to check that out. So other than that, don't know where the other two guys are at the moment. I believe
They're in the bathroom. They're both in the bathroom at the same time. We're very worried.
Very worried, very concerned. So anyways, we hope they're well, and we'll see them hopefully next week, and hopefully we'll see you next week, whoever's watching. And Josh, you good?
It's been fun. This is we should just go ahead and do this every
You
time.
and I will just
We don't need
Okay.
them.
All right. So until next week, Josh, good morning.
Morning, everybody.